Hello everyone, welcome to a new reading. Today we're going to do a friendship reading between Nayeon and Yeri because I think I remember that they were actually friends. Even Yeri, during her show, invited Nayeon to be in it, and I was like, you know what, I think it would be nice to have a friendship reading between people from different groups, and Nayeon and Yeri it was. I know that there's other known friendships out there, but this one is one that I care about, so let's get into it. So the first question is just one card to represent the connection between Yeri and Nayeon. We have East with beginnings. And then let's just take out one card, one that will represent Nayeon. And one card that will represent Yeri. Well, I guess two. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I usually leave the oldest person on the left and the younger person on the right for my friendship readings. I'm just saying that in case you guys are wondering. So the first card that came out is East with beginnings. So the best way to talk about the relationship or the friendship that Nayeon and Yeri have is one that not requires, but that usually leads both of them to start something new in their lives. Maybe starting a new hobby, starting a new way of thinking, a new routine, or it seems like they both are very good at just figuring new things out in life and either trying new experiences or going through new paths. There might be a chance that they both have a type of dynamics where when they get together or when they meet, they have either talks or they just happen to stumble on into each other, or they kind of meet again when they're about to embark on a new journey or a new chapter in their lives. So this could be something that happens intentionally, as in they're talking about a situation and then they have this epiphany or this aha moment that causes them to just think about things differently, and that's a new beginning. Or they kind of encounter each other in times when they're both going through a transformation. So then after they go their separate paths, they are, I guess, when they're doing their own thing, they're starting this new way of doing things. So it seems like that is the main thing that is going on here with this East card. Also, new beginnings, and I don't know why with the East card I was thinking of protection. So they may have a dynamic where they both look out for each other, and when they're going to enter into the unknown, because a new beginning will kind of symbolize that there's something unknown going on, or they're about to enter a path that they maybe don't know how to navigate fully because it's something new. So with this card, I have a feeling that they both are able to kind of send each other blessings and hope for the best, so things will go out well for each other on whatever it is that they're doing. Now, the card that represents Nayeon is the Wheel of Fortune with karma. So there is a sense of destiny, a sense of just going with the flow, a sense of fate as well, and a balance, I guess, of, in this case, Nayeon doing her own thing and having things under control, but at the same time just going with the flow and allowing the universe to take her down the path that is destined for her. And so I do feel that this karma card shows that Nayeon is someone that just kind of goes with the flow, does her own thing, and in this relationship or in this dynamic, she's one that just is very free flowing, just focuses on the present moment and just does things one thing at a time. This is Jupiter energy, so I do feel that Nayeon feels usually very lucky, feels very blessed, and feels like things are going generally positively for her, especially because the Wheel of Fortune is upright. So this kind of shows that Nayeon is usually in an energy where she feels very good. She feels like everything's just working as it should, or working nicely in her favor, and she tends to be pretty optimistic in this dynamic. Now, the cards that represent Yeri is the Queen of Cups reverse and the Three of Cups reverse. So this kind of tells me that Nayeon probably brings a lot of more optimistic energy for Yeri. With the Three of Cups reverse, I see that Yeri is probably seen as someone that is usually needs a little bit more of a push or an incentive to celebrate. She may, because the Three of Cups is, when it's upright, talks about someone that is hanging out with their friends, maybe drinking or just having a good time. So with it reversed, I do feel that Yeri in this dynamic is someone that kind of needs to be pulled, and it's like, let's go have fun, let's have a good time, kind of like, let me get you out of that period you're in, or let me get you out of that mentality that could be bringing you down a bit, especially because we have the Queen of Cups reversed. So with the Queen of Cups reversed, it could show that right now either right now or usually the dynamic that they have is that they hang out when one of them is not okay. And I do feel that maybe right now Yeri could not be okay, or it usually happens that when Yeri feels a bit down or she feels like she's not herself somehow, it is maybe the person that she looks out to hang out with will be someone like Nayeon. Now, I do want to emphasize that usually when we talk about friendships, there are people out there that they have different friends for different moods that they're in or in different situations that they're in. For example, there's some friend that is like, oh, I can talk to you about how I feel because you just kind of get me, you understand me. And then there's other people that is like, oh, I like to hang out with you when I want to just go wild and go party. And maybe another group that is like, or I like to hang out with you guys when I want to like just chill a little bit, stay at home and stuff like that, right? So keep that in mind. So with that mentality, I happen to wonder, I don't know why those words came out, I don't express myself like that. I wonder if Nayeon is in the group for Yeri that is like when I need like a pick me up or I need someone to just fill me with positivity, Nayeon is the one that she calls, or is like the one that, you know, those times when all of a sudden you think of a friend and you're like, oh, let me call and see if they're doing okay or message them. I wonder if Nayeon kind of just has this intuitive feeling when Yeri's not okay and it's like, oh, let me see if she wants to hang out, let me see if she's free, let me see if she wants to go have some fun. The cards that represent Yeri is someone that is trying to like bring themselves back up, trying to normalize and balance themselves, because this Queen of Cups reverse kind of makes me think that maybe Yeri feels a little bit out of her element or doesn't really feel like herself, or is going through a period that really has thrown her off balance. So that's why she may not be at her highest point, let me put it that way. So I do feel that maybe right now Yeri's going through it. It could be right now, or just the dynamic that they have is one where that's usually how Yeri comes off. I mean, she is younger than Nayeon, so maybe she can be like, Yeri can be a bit more like, oh, life is rough, help me. But let's go on to the next question and let's see, how does Nayeon see Yeri? We have the tower, yeah. Okay, so Nayeon sees Yeri as someone that is constantly going through challenges and difficulties, someone that is hitting a bunch of obstacles and is constantly having to recreate themselves or bring themselves back up. How does Yeri see Nayeon? The King of Swords, I see. Okay. So let me continue with that tower card. So also the way that Nayeon sees Yeri is as someone that is constantly having their environment or their foundation being destroyed, because the tower card is Mars energy, so this is action, this is drive or motivation that gets destroyed constantly. But with this tower card as well, this is talking about an epiphany with this lightning that just kind of crumbles down anything that is not meant to be there. And it's supposed to be a metaphor to show that any negativity or anything superficial or anything that was built on a weak foundation just kind of falls apart in order to make room for something that is a little bit, it's more stable, or I don't know why credible was the word that came up. So something that it is a bit more substantial, let me put it that way. So I do feel that in this case, Nayeon sees Yeri as someone that is constantly going through a tower period, or sees her as someone that has a very rough life or path ahead of them. So maybe that's why Nayeon is always bringing all this positivity, because she sees Yeri as someone that is constantly going through ups and downs, is constantly going through challenges and difficulties. On the other hand, we have the King of Swords. So Yeri sees Nayeon as someone that is actually very wise, someone that has a very good judgment about maybe the next steps in life or people, someone that's very good at discerning the right situations, the right people. Also a sense of having very good communication. So I do feel that in this case, Yeri sees Nayeon as someone that has very good advice, someone that is able to think about things in a very broad and open way, but also detailed enough to have, like, I guess, a good support for their points of view or something. So this King of Swords is also supposed to symbolize an individual that has clear judgment in the sense of being able to see things for what they truly are and not be influenced by emotions or material things or actions, and being a bit more understanding of like the full picture. So I do feel that in this case, this kind of shows that Yeri sees Nayeon as someone that gives very good advice. But let's go into the fourth question and let's figure out, how do Yeri and Nayeon like to spend their time together? What do they usually do, or what are the vibes? Oh, two cards came out. We have Hearth with the keyword comfort, and we have Rock with endurance. So yeah, usually when they spend their time together, it's kind of to bring stability, a stronger foundation, feeling grounded again. So I do feel that they like to usually hang out together to have like a cozy time. So I imagine them like with like a sleepover, or maybe having like wrapping themselves in blankets and just drinking like some like hot chocolate or something while they're talking. So I do feel that they do talk a lot. Or if there is silence, is usually as a way to communicate their support for each other in either a challenging time or something difficult. So again, how do they like to spend their time together? Usually cozy gatherings. I do feel it's a lot of like indoor activities. So again, like a sleepover, maybe watch a movie at home, maybe just everyone's on their own home, but they are just having a very comfortable call or something along those lines. But usually what they do is create an environment where there is comfort and where there is a sense of, I guess, a pep talk, or allowing each other to just rant and vent about difficult things in their life. So I do feel that they just kind of create this environment where they can balance each other. We have number 11 with the Hearth card that kind of reduces to 2. If you add 1 plus 1 is 2. And then the Rock card, if you add 20, is still 2. So I do feel that there's a sense of finding balance for each other and helping each other bring themselves back to a harmonious state where they can just continue with their journey and overpass any challenge and obstacle, because now they kind of have like reset themselves and they feel a bit more driven or inspired, or I guess even motivated to continue with their journeys. So there's what that endurance energy kind of comes in. I do feel that there's a sense of very strong loyalty between both of them, because here we have the little baby being supported by this dog, and you know, dogs automatically make me think of someone that's super loyal and someone that is just always there for them. In this case, it will be whoever the baby is representing, right? What I'm trying to say with all of this is that way that they like to spend their time together is creating an environment where they both feel supported, where they both feel comfortable, and where they're both able to kind of power each other up and help each other kind of rise from any obstacle or any difficulty that could be bringing them down or making them feel a bit low energy wise. So this is a very nice energy to have as a friendship. Now, the next question is, what does Nayeon like about Yeri? Wait, how many cards are they? Too many. Well, I already saw them, so I guess I'll take them. So I guess there's a lot of things that Nayeon likes about Yeri, since we have 4 cards. The King of Wands, bro. 2 kings. The fact that there's 2 king energies right here tells me that Yeri sees Nayeon as a go-getter, as someone that is actively manifesting and actively taking action, someone that has like control of their life or has a good reins on their life. So I guess even though we have the Wheel of Fortune for Nayeon, it kind of shows that Yeri sees Nayeon as someone that, despite going with the flow and allowing the universe to do its own thing and allowing things to just happen, Nayeon still shows that she still has a very strong control over how she goes about her life. May it be the way that she perceives things, the way that she talks about it, the way that she sees them and thinks about them. Show that there's a sense of power and control that Nayeon has, which it could be something that Yeri really admires, since we have 2 kings. And it's a lot of masculine energy because it's an air one and a fire one, which is masculine energy with zodiac signs. But I'll talk about that a bit later. Okay, now the things that Nayeon likes about Yeri, we have the Page of Swords reverse, the Magician reverse, the Emperor reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles upright. So the first thing that I got when I saw this was potential. Nayeon really likes the potential that Yeri has at being a very great person. Now let me describe to you what I mean by a great person. So with the Page of Swords, usually when we have it upright, we're talking about someone that is excited on the idea of learning something new, or just an idea that pops up, or someone that is barely learning how to effectively communicate their thoughts and their ideas to other people. Someone that may, sometimes the Page of Swords is shown with like letters around them to show someone that is barely learning how to communicate, or someone that could be like a messenger. But anyway, with pages, we're talking about a new beginning. We're talking about someone that is quite young and someone that is barely understanding this. Well, in this case, since it's a page of swords, someone that is barely understanding how to think about things, how to judge things, I guess, or I'm sure there's another word for judging. I guess analyzing something, like someone that's barely learning how to do those things. So I do feel that with this card in reverse, it kind of shows that Nayeon sees Yeri as someone that has a potential to start with a new way of thinking, with a new perspective, with having a new idea. However, I think Yeri has not gotten that epiphany yet. But again, Nayeon really likes the potential that I guess Yeri has. I mean, Yeri's still younger than her, so she probably sees her as someone that has still a lot of growing to do and a lot of experiencing to do as well. Now, the next card that we have right here is the Magician, but it's reversed. So in this case, it kind of shows that the thing that Yeri really admires and likes about Nayeon, which I mentioned previously, as someone that has control of their life and is able to just kind of manifest things very well, because I mean, we do have the Wheel of Fortune, right? With the Magician reversed, it kind of shows that Nayeon really likes how Yeri is someone that has the potential to do just that as well. Those things that Yeri admires about Nayeon is something that Nayeon likes to know that she's been viewed that way, but she also likes that Yeri has the potential to reach that as well, to be able to have strong willpower, have the ability to manifest, and also the understanding that in this case Yeri has the power to create anything that she wants in her life and achieve any goal that she wants in her life. So I do feel that this Magician reverse kind of shows that Yeri doesn't maybe view herself this way, but Nayeon does, and she really likes that Yeri has this potential, a lot of good things coming her way. But maybe right now Yeri could be going through a difficult period that could make it challenging for her to see her own potential and being able to see her own ability to manifest the goals that she has in mind or whatever she wants as well. Now, the other card that we have right here is the Emperor reversed. So I do feel that, again, potential, right? Nayeon sees Yeri as someone that has a potential to just take action whenever they're ready, someone that is able to understand the rules, to break them and bend them in any way possible. So what I mean by that is, when you're creating art and you kind of need to know the rules of the medium that you're using or how art works in order to be able to break it apart to make your statement stronger. So let's say you learn about composition in art and you're like, things have to be this way to show this type of message, right? However, you understand that if your main figure touches like the corners of your art, it makes them more powerful because they're like filling up the image, right? Somebody could be like, that's wrong because it doesn't show good composition or whatever. But somebody else could be like, yeah, maybe to your point of view, it's bad composition because you can't see the background or the middle ground or whatever. But to me, it does send the right message because I'm showing how powerful and how important this character is. For example, how the King of Swords looks like in one of the tarot decks that I have. My editor monkey will know which one I'm talking about because once she asked me, why does the King of Swords look so powerful? Well, because he's taking up pretty much the whole image. But yeah, I digress. So in this case with the Emperor, it's kind of like Nayeon sees the potential that Yeri has at breaking stereotypes or breaking, I guess, limitations. And I guess breaking rules was not really the right way to express it. But yeah, it's kind of like breaking past boundaries and limitations that maybe Yeri herself is putting on herself, or just overcome any standards and trying to just be herself in a way, right? Because the Emperor could show someone that is very sure of who they are and they know how to take action in a way that is loyal to who they are as a person. Now, the last card that we have right here is the Ace of Pentacles. So I do feel that another thing that Nayeon really likes is that this potential of growth that Yeri has is something that will definitely be shown in her career, in her projects, in her work, right? So her in this case is Yeri. So I do feel that Nayeon just really likes how Yeri has a potential to continue growing as a person and maybe breaking even like stereotypes or standards within the community that they both work in or within the industry that they're both in. Because the Ace of Pentacles talks about new beginnings. It talks about projects, money, career, finances. So I think Nayeon really likes that Yeri has this potential of just doing her own thing and being successful regardless, even if Yeri doesn't see that potential quite yet. Now, on the other hand, the thing that Yeri really likes about Nayeon is this King of Wands energy. So this is Aries energy, But this is the energy of someone that just does as they do what they want. Someone that's very driven, very ambitious, someone that is constantly taking action and making their dreams come true, someone that just does as they wish. Now, I'm saying this in the sense of if Nayeon, oh, sorry, I'm sorry, card. So if Nayeon is thinking like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, she doesn't care what other people say. She will just do it. What I mean care is like maybe she does care what people's opinions are, but if she really wants to do something, she's not gonna let those doubts or worry get in the way. She'll just power through because she's just doing what she wants to do. And I do feel that in this case, Yeri sees Nayeon as someone that is like an unstoppable force that just goes after her desires and her goals and her dreams. So this King of One just kind of reinforces that idea that not only does Nayeon have very good advice, and not only does she have a very good perspective and open mind to like see the situation better or knowing who are like the right people to work with. Nayeon is also someone that is very good at just taking action, just staying motivated, doing things, getting things done. Like if Nayeon says I'm going to do this, she gets it done. She doesn't just dream about it. She takes action on those words, and she is constantly. I imagine the High School musical song. They say breaking free, right? Like, I think the first line. So I do feel that there's like this sense of like just flying high and being free and just doing her own thing as well. But let's go on to the next one and let's see what has Nayeon learned from Yeri. How? We have the Queen of Swords. So with this Queen of Swords, okay, actually before I start, let me get out the card for Yeri. What has Yeri learned from Nayeon? The Hierophant. Okay, cool. There you go. So the thing that Nayeon has learned from Yeri is how to say things without hesitating. No hesitation, just say exactly what she thinks, exactly what she feels. The Queen of Swords could be a bit cold, someone that's very assertive, so sometimes she can come off as a bit harsh or a bit too cold towards other people. The Queen of Swords is Aquarius energy, so this kind of shows that the things that Nayeon has learned from Yeri is how to be unapologetically herself when it comes to her way of speaking. So she just says what she thinks without caring what other people think. It may be weird, may be strange, may be harsh, cold, or a bit too honest, right? That's what I mean by, or someone that may be a bit tactless sometimes, right? Like someone that says things exactly how they see them, exactly how they view them, but to other people it can seem like, oh, that seems like a bit too mean, or that could seem as a bit out of place. Nayeon has learned how to just do those things without really caring what other people think, or being charming with her way of saying it, right? Like she just says it and people kind of go like, I can't even, you're so honest and that's just who you are that I can't even get mad at you because I kind of know what I'm getting myself into, right? So Nayeon has learned how to be that person, to just say what she thinks and not really care what people think about her, but at the same time people already kind of know where she's coming from and how she is, so they kind of go like, I can't even get mad at you. That's just how you are. On the other hand, the thing that Yeri has learned from Nayeon is how to be the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is the energy of someone that is kind of being introduced into this new community, this new way of thinking, right? In a way, is like connecting to society once again. So I guess the thing that Yeri has learned is how to belong to a group, maybe how to fit in within the industry a bit more, how to feel like she is part of a community, part of a culture, part of a way of thinking. So in a way, I think Yeri learned how to fit in a bit more, or how to belong to a group. I don't know what group that could be. Like, I don't know if it's like a group of people. I don't know if it's like a way of thinking. I don't know if it's like the industry itself. I'm not too sure what this group could be. But with a Hierophant, it's like Yeri may have also learned that there's people like her out there, or maybe she has learned with this Hierophant energy how to understand or work with traditions and work with the standards and what's normal within her community, and in a way being able to tolerate the expectations that are like normalized. And I say tolerate because I do feel that Yeri, without knowing she had learned enough to survive in a community, but I think Yeri just naturally has an energy that will just kind of cause her to break through boundaries and standards very quickly and very easily. It's like, why will I put myself under this label? Why will I put myself under this box? Let me just break it and do my own thing. So again, just tolerate. So Yeri has learned from Nayeon how to get enough survival skills to live a pretty comfortable life or live in a very comfortable environment. So to not steer the boat a bit too much. Now let's go into the last card and which is, why did Nayeon and Yeri meet? Why did they meet? No. What was the purpose? So we have oceans with bravery and music with joy. So I guess the reason that they met was to survive in the music industry, to get along, to be happy with this music card. And with this ocean card, it's like they learned, the reason that they met was so they could just learn to be brave, to just be themselves, to be able to survive in their environment, to just be okay with the way that things work, but at the same time, not just resignate themselves to be in a certain lifestyle or a certain way, and being able to just kind of overcome obstacles, being able to feel like they're on the top of the world, as we have like this woman like being on top of earth or whatever. So I do feel that the reason that they met was to just survive in this industry and be like a support for each other, and kind of remind each other to really enjoy what they're doing and do whatever it is that they want to do without feeling pressured by the industry that they're in or being surrounded by a bunch of people that may tell them otherwise, and just kind of just be themselves basically. So I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very interesting to see that they both see each other pretty similarly, but at the same time, I don't know if Yeri's just going through it, or they have this dynamic where Nayeon sees Yeri as someone that's just growing up and there's a bunch of potential in her, and that's why this is the reason why the cards came out the way that they did. I mean, I do feel that age could play a role in this dynamic, because it's kind of like Yeri sees Nayeon as someone that she kind of like admires, and then Nayeon sees Yeri as someone that has a lot of potential ahead of her. So that could be why the cards came out this way. But it seems like they really do get along. They're a very good support system for each other. So that could explain why they got the beginnings card, the beginning of this reading, right? They're both just very good at kind of stabilizing each other for those new unknowns and these new adventures that they will end up going through. But yeah, I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye.